Welcome, everyone. Today, let's take a moment to listen, reflect, and be inspired by the story of Margaret, a 72-year-old woman from Ohio. Through her lifestyle, we'll uncover the key differences that set apart the longest-living seniors and how small daily habits can significantly improve your chances of living a healthy, vibrant life all the way to 100. The best part? Longevity doesn't require anything grand or complicated. Just a few mindful, consistent habits can make all the difference. And if, as you hear this story, you realize that you can still start making changes, then congratulations, you're already ahead of the game. Let's dive into Margaret's journey. And who knows, you might just see a part of yourself in her story. Imagine a crisp autumn morning, the kind where the air feels fresh and the leaves crunch underfoot. Margaret, a vibrant 72-year-old with a spring in her step, ties her worn sneakers and heads out the door. For years, she's walked 5 miles every single day, through drizzle, heat waves, even the occasional snow flurry. Her neighbors marvel at her stamina, nicknaming her the Walking Wonder, and she wears the title like a badge of honor. She's lived by the mantra that staying active keeps you young, a belief etched into her mind from decades of health advice. More walking, she figures, must mean more youth. But one chilly morning, something shifts. Her knees ache with a sharpness she can't ignore. Her energy drains before noon, and the mirror reflects deeper lines on her face. She pauses, puzzled, and wonders aloud, is this just aging, or could it be something I'm doing? The answer, it turns out, might lie in those very miles she's so proud of. Welcome to a journey you might not see coming. Today, we're peeling back the layers of a surprising truth. How overwalking after 70 can actually speed up aging. Yes, you heard that correctly. The daily habit you've been told is a cornerstone of health could, if taken too far, be working against you. But don't toss those sneakers just yet. We're not here to chain you to the couch. Instead, we'll explore why this happens, what the science reveals, and most crucially, what you can do instead to stay strong, lively, and youthful well into your later years. So, settle in with a warm drink, or just kick back, and let's take this step by step, figuratively, of course. Let's start with the basics, a truth we've all heard 1,000 times. Exercise is good for you. It's practically carved in stone. Doctors preach it, fitness magazines plaster it across their covers, and your overly chipper friend at the coffee shop swears by it. They're not wrong. Movement is the elixir of life. Walking, in particular, shines as a star for older adults. It's gentle on the body, gets your blood flowing, and doesn't demand a treadmill or a pricey membership. Research backs this up with gusto. A 2021 study from the American Heart Association found that regular walking slashes blood pressure, lifts your spirits, and can tack extra years onto your life. It's a no-brainer, right? So where's the snag? The snag is in the dose. Think of exercise like a potent herbal tea. Sip the right amount, and it soothes. Gulp too much, and you're jittery and unwell. For Margaret, and perhaps for you, those 5-mile daily treks might feel like a triumph. But after 70, your body starts whispering a different story. Aging rewrites the rules. Your joints aren't as cushioned, your muscles take longer to mend, and your energy tank isn't bottomless anymore. Overwalking doesn't just leave you winded, it can quietly crank up the aging dial you're trying so hard to turn back. Here's the mechanics of it. When you overdo the walking, hours on end, day after day with no break, your body gets trapped in a stress spiral. Cortisol, that notorious stress hormone, surges. In small bursts, it's harmless, even helpful. But relentless overexercise keeps it sky high. Elevated cortisol nibbles away at your muscle tissue, thins your skin until it's almost translucent, and throws your sleep into chaos. Meanwhile, your joints bear the brunt. Cartilage, the shock absorber in your knees and hips, doesn't bounce back like it did in your 40s. Pound it too hard, too often, and you're begging for inflammation, stiffness, and a faster breakdown. Hear that groan? That's not just your imagination. It's your body's SOS. And here's where it gets wild. Overwalking can even tamper with your telomeres. These little DNA end caps shield your genetic code from unraveling. Short telomeres signal rapid cellular aging. A 2020 study in the Journal of Aging Research dropped a bombshell. Excessive endurance exercise in older adults can overtax the system, shrinking telomeres faster than a sedentary life would. So, while Margaret's epic walks might feel like she's sipping from the fountain of youth, they could be draining it dry. But it's not just about biology, it's personal. Margaret didn't stumble into this alone. Plenty of folks over 70 fall into the same trap, lured by the promise that more miles equal more vitality. They're not wrong to move, but the trick is knowing when enough turns into too much. Let's rewind Margaret's story. She wasn't always the marathon walker of her neighborhood. Back in her 50s, she was a casual stroller, maybe a mile or two with her scruffy terrier, Max, trotting beside her. It was a ritual she loved, a chance to clear her head and enjoy the bird song. But when retirement hit at 60, she decided to up the ante. She'd read articles touting 10,000 steps as the holy grail of health, and she thought, why stop there? By 70, her routine was ironclad. 5 miles every morning of the come hell or high water. She felt like a warrior until the cracks started showing. It crept up slowly, like a shadow lengthening at dusk. Her knees would throb after her walks, a dull ache she dismissed as part of getting older. Then fatigue set in, heavy and unrelenting. She'd finish her route, collapse onto her floral couch, and stare blankly at the wall, too wiped out to cook her famous lasagna or chat with her book club pals. Her daughter Lisa noticed something else. Margaret's skin looked fragile, almost like tissue paper, and her once sparkling eyes seemed dimmer. Margaret confessed she was tossing and turning at night, unable to drift off. Then came the tipping point, a stumble on a cracked sidewalk. Her balance faltered, her ankle twisted, and she hit the ground with a yelp. That sprain was her wake-up call. Enter Dr. Patel, her no-nonsense physician. After a thorough exam, blood tests, SAW tests, x-rays, the works, he sat her down. Margaret, he said, his tone firm but kind. You're overdoing it. Your joints are inflamed, your cortisol's off the charts, and your muscles are shrinking instead of growing. Margaret blinked, stunned. But I thought walking was my ticket to staying young, she protested. Dr. Patel smiled gently. It can be, but too much is like overwatering a rose. It doesn't bloom, it drowns. You need a new approach. Margaret's not alone in this. Take Jim, a 75-year-old retiree who walked so much his hip joint gave out, landing him in surgery. Or Susan, a one who trudged 6 miles daily, baffled by her constant exhaustion and brittle nails. Overwalking doesn't blare a siren. It tiptoes in, masked as discipline, until your body froze up its hands in surrender. Margaret's sprain was her breaking point, but for others, it might be a nagging pain or a sudden drop in zest. The signs are there if you look. So, what's really going on inside your body when you overwalk after 70? Let's peel back the layers, gently but honestly, because understanding this might change how you treat the years you've worked so hard to reach. Let's start with your joints. By the time we reach our 70s, even the healthiest knees, hips, and ankles have logged millions of steps. And whether you've danced through life or trudged through it, chances are osteoarthritis is quietly lurking beneath the surface. The cartilage that once cushioned each step has grown thin, fragile. Yes, walking is far gentler than jogging. No one's arguing that. But when you're clocking hour after hour, day after day, even gentle motion becomes a grind. A 2023 study from the University of California put this into stark perspective. Seniors who walked over 2,000 steps daily faced a 30% higher risk of joint degeneration than those who kept it between 6,000 and 8,000. The shocking truth? More movement didn't mean more health. It meant more wear and tear, more erosion of the body's natural shock absorbers. Then there's the quiet thief, muscle loss. After 16, your body begins to lose muscle mass at an alarming rate, about 1 to 2% per year, unless you actively resist it. This isn't just about vanity or strength at the gym. It's about your ability to carry groceries, to climb stairs, to stand up from your favorite armchair without help. Walking, despite its many benefits, is not a strength-building activity. It moves your legs, yes, but it doesn't challenge your muscles enough to maintain, let alone grow, the strength you need to stay independent. And here's the catch. If you walk too much, especially without enough protein in your diet, your body may start breaking down muscle for fuel instead of burning fat. That's exactly what happened to Margaret. Her 5-mile walks, which she once saw as her lifeline, were silently stealing the very strength she needed to live fully. Every step was unknowingly a trade-off. Next comes the storm of inflammation. Each step, no matter how soft your shoes or forgiving the pavement, sends tiny jolts through your body. In moderation, those microshocks are good. They trigger repair, adaptation, resilience. But too much movement, too often, and those repairs fall behind. What takes over instead is chronic, low-grade inflammation. Your body begins pumping out substances like C-reactive protein and interleukin-6, messengers of distress. You feel it as soreness, fatigue, or a general sense that something's off. But under the surface, it's doing more. It's aging your skin, dulling your mind, and sapping your energy. A 2022 study in gerontology found a clear link. Seniors who consistently overwalked showed higher levels of inflammation and slower recovery times. Their bodies were trying to heal, but just couldn't keep up. And then there's energy, or rather, the loss of it. Inside every cell are tiny powerhouses called mitochondria. With age, they lose efficiency. That's normal. But when you push too hard, when you walk beyond what your body can reasonably handle, those mitochondria begin to sputter, like an old engine pushed past its prime. Instead of feeling recharged after a walk, you feel depleted, not tired in a peaceful way, but in a hollow, bone-deep kind of exhaustion. Margaret didn't realize her walks were draining her energy reserves, not building them. She was too tired to read, to cook, to laugh with her granddaughter on the porch. The very walks meant to extend her life were robbing her of the joy in it. And finally, let's talk hormones. Beyond inflammation and muscle wear, over-exercising can wreak havoc on your hormonal balance. Hormones like testosterone and growth hormone, crucial for tissue repair, bone density, and vitality, drop dramatically when the body is pushed too hard without adequate rest. A 2021 study published in Aging Cell revealed that older adults who overtrained, whether through intense gym sessions or excessive endurance activities, things like long-distance walking, experienced noticeable drops in these critical hormones. This triggers a cascade. Joints ache, muscles shrink, inflammation spikes, energy fades, and hormones nosedive. It becomes a feedback loop of accelerated aging. Overwalk doesn't just tire you out, it speeds up the clock. So when Margaret finally sat down, literally forced to by a twisted ankle, it wasn't just about pain. It was about awakening, realizing that more isn't always better, that wisdom lies not in pushing harder, but in listening deeper, because longevity isn't just about years, it's about the quality of those years. And to protect that, sometimes you have to slow down to stay strong. But here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to hit rock bottom like Margaret did. You don't have to wait until your body screams for help, until pain forces you to stop. There's a quieter path, one of awareness, of tuning in early before the damage takes root. So how do you know when something's off? You start by listening to your body, really listening. Are your knees or hips feeling unusually stiff after your walks? Do they swell a little, feel warm to the touch, like they're quietly protesting? Do you come home not refreshed, but utterly drained, like the walk took more from you than it gave? Have you started losing weight without trying? Or do the little aches that once faded now seem to linger like uninvited guests? Is your sleep suddenly broken, restless, or do you feel like your bounce-back ability, the way you used to recover from exertion, is slipping through your fingers? These aren't just signs of getting older. They're your body waving bright neon flags, pleading with you to slow down, to reassess. Margaret missed those signs. She brushed them aside until the day her ankle gave out and forced her to face what she had been ignoring for far too long. But you don't have to go down that road. If you're someone who walks every day, especially if you're past 70, and you're proud of clocking in the miles, I encourage you to pause for just a moment. Ask yourself, is this habit still nourishing me, or is it quietly wearing me down? The answer might surprise you, it might even scare you, but it could also save you. I've seen it happen more than once. Like Tom, 73, who thought the dull ache in his lower back was just part of aging. He powered through until he finally decided to cut his daily walks in half. Within weeks, he said he felt a decade younger. The pain eased, his energy came back. He smiled more. The truth is, the signs are often subtle, but if you pay attention, they're speaking loud and clear. The real strength? It's not in how far you can go. It's in knowing when to stop, when to rest, and when to listen. That's how you walk, not just farther, but longer. So, if overwalking's the villain, what's the hero's plan? Hint, it's not ditching movement entirely. The goal is strategic activity. Exercise that lifts you up without tearing you down. Dr. Patel handed Margaret a roadmap, and it's yours for the taking. Here's how to rewrite the script. Step 1. Cap your walking. Aim for 20-40 minutes daily, or roughly 6,000 to 8,000 steps. That's the Goldilocks zone. Enough to spark your heart and mood without grinding your joints to dust. A National Institutes of Health study confirms it. Moderate walkers outlived both couch dwellers and overwalkers. Less can truly be more. Step 2. Build strength. Walking won't halt sarcopenia, but resistance training will. Lift light weights, think 3-pound dumbbells, or try bodyweight moves like chair squats or wall push-ups. 2 or 3 15 to 20-minute sessions weekly can rebuild muscle and shore up bones. Margaret started with soup cans, grinning as her arms steadied. Step 3. Stretch and stabilize. Overwalking tightens you up, but yoga or Tai Chi keeps you loose and balanced. A 2024 Journal of Aging and Physical Activity trial found Tai Chi twice a week slashed fall risk by 40% in seniors. Margaret's go-to? A wobbly tree pose by her sink, giggling at her progress. Step 4. Rest with purpose. Recovery isn't slacking. It's your anti-aging secret weapon. Space out longer walks with rest days and prioritize 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Your body rebuilds at night, not mid-stride. Margaret embraced her naps, waking up refreshed instead of ragged. Step 5. Mix it up. Swap some walks for swimming, biking, or dancing. Activities that pamper your heart without punishing your joints. Margaret joined a senior dance group, swaying to Sinatra, and rediscovered her joy. Variety isn't just spice, it's longevity. Bonus tip: fuel smart. Pair your new routine with protein, eggs, yogurt, or a handful of nuts to feed those muscles. Hydrate too. Dehydration sneaks up faster with age. Margaret added a protein shake to her mornings, and her strength blossomed. The payoff? These shifts don't just slow aging, they rewind it. Margaret's knees quieted down, her skin glowed again, and she had zip to spare. She still walks, just not like it's a mission. She's living proof. Smarter moves trump endless miles. Here's the bottom line. After 70, overwalking can stealthily hasten aging, eroding joints, stealing muscle, and dimming your spark. But you don't have to pick between motion and thriving. Balance is the magic. Shorter walks, strength work, rest, and variety. It's not about racking up miles. It's about racking up life. Picture Margaret twirling to a big band tune. Or see yourself, stronger, steadier, brimming with vigor. Aging well isn't a grueling march. It's a gentle, joyful dance, one step, one sway at a time. Thank you for walking this journey with me today. We've just shared the story of Margaret, not just a story about walking, but a story about learning to listen to ourselves, about knowing when to keep moving forward and when to pause, to protect what truly matters. Maybe you're standing at the same crossroads as Margaret, trying to live long, live well, but sometimes feeling tired, unsure. Let me tell you this, it's never too late to adjust your path. Never too late to start again, gently, wisely, and in a way that honors where your body is today. Don't confuse effort with sacrifice. We've been taught to be strong, to push through, but real strength sometimes means knowing when to take a step back so you don't fall apart. It means having the courage to let go of habits that once served you, but are now slowly wearing you down. You deserve a body that feels strong, a mind that feels clear, and years ahead that are full of energy and joy, not just survival, but true living. Have a story like Margaret's, maybe something you've been wondering about. Your pace, your body, your routine. Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. This community is here for you. For those choosing to live mindfully, age gracefully, and care for themselves, one step, one breath, one day at a time. If today's message resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss the next chapter we walk together. Your support means the world. It helps this channel grow and helps these conversations reach more people who might just need to hear them. So, keep walking, but never give up. Age doesn't slow us down. Ignoring our own needs does. I'll see you in the next video. Together, we're not just living longer, we're living better, deeper, and more true to who we are.